Hi y'all, welcome to Homestead in Bloom. I'm Kaylin and I'm so happy you're here. Today I'm going to be taking you with me to kind of look through all of the things that I've gathered to prepare for our home birth. So I am currently 34 weeks pregnant in a few days, and so I have just been hustling to try to get everything together because last birth, if you saw my birth story, you saw that I ran out of time to do the things that I wanted to do. So this time I'm trying to hustle and get everything done so that by 37 weeks I am locked in and ready to go. I'm just going to share what I've gathered to prepare for this home birth. My midwife gave me some notes as to what to order for the birth that she needs, as well as just some things that are nice to have. And then some of these things are just things that I know that I will probably want postpartum, at least like immediately postpartum. I'm going to do a separate video where I talk about all of the things that I keep in this little cart over here for postpartum and breastfeeding and just all of those things. So stay tuned for that. But today we're going to go ahead and jump into all of the things that I've gathered to prepare for my home birth. Since we're already over here, we're going to start with the not so glamorous stuff. So these are just going to be all of the blankets that we use for baby. My midwife told me to get 3 blankets that are pretty, like that I want to use for once the baby's here. And so I chose these little rainbows, an olive green, and then a blue. And then she also told me to get 3 blankets that are not my favorite, that I don't mind getting ruined. So I have this cactus one, this orange one, and then this purple one. These are cute too, but if they get ruined, I won't mind. I also put some burp cloths in this stack because these could be used to, wipe my face, have a cool rag on my back or a warm rag on my back, as well as once baby's here, we can wipe the vernix off of the little baby with these. They're soft, and so I thought that that would be like a nice gentle welcome into the world. So that's kind of what I'm planning on using these for. The next thing are the towels. So my midwife wanted me to get some washcloths for purposes like cooling down on my head or doing a warm cloth on my back. And then she also wanted me to get a hand towel. I was supposed to get 3 of these. I only have 1, but I figured we could also use these as a hand towel if needed. And then I was also asked to pick up some towels. So obviously birth can be a little bit messy, so having plenty of towels on hand is perfect because it makes for an easier cleanup and, a cleanup of mama and baby, as well as just having the ability to lay them down on the ground if needed or lay them wherever I end up giving birth. So I got 2, 4, 6, 8. So I have 8 towels. These are full-size towels, so these will be perfect. Now moving on to the baskets. So this first basket contains all of the medical supplies that my midwife requested to have. So we'll go through that one. And then this one has more like cleanup materials as well as some extra sheets. And then this last one is more so my postpartum one. So we're going to start with the midwives request, and then we'll work our way down. The first thing that I see here is gauze sponges, so it's just a pack of 12. The next thing is a keepsake birth certificate. We're obviously going to be getting the one from the state as well, but she just recommended getting this too. Along with that, we also have the deluxe foot printer. I'm not going to open it just to keep everything contained, but this will make it super easy to get baby's footprint and go ahead and document that. And she also requested that I have a bedpan on hand, so I went ahead and ordered that as well. And all of these materials were ordered from In His Hands. If you have a midwife, it's likely that they probably have created a birth kit on there. I believe that that's one of the most common places for midwives to use to order birth kits. So Your midwife will probably have their own list of different things that they like to have for a birth. I know that my first midwife and then my second midwife, their birth lists were different. So I was able to use some of the things from my previous birth, but then I had to order some different things for this one. So one of the things that she requested is 4 straws. So I have metal straws in my kitchen, but I went ahead and followed the instructions and just ordered what she asked. So I've got 4 straws here, as well as a paper measuring tape. So I'm just gonna leave this in the bag, that way everything is contained. And then the next thing are some barf bags. I am praying daily that my labor this time does not cause me to throw up so much. But these are wonderful to have if that is the case, because they're easy to hold, portable, a lot easier than carrying a trash can around. The next thing is some hydrogen peroxide. This was actually leaking whenever I opened the box, and so I'm just gonna leave it in this bag and the midwives can use it if needed. Next we have an instant perineal cold pack. I actually did not like the way that cold packs felt postpartum. I had made several witch hazel padsicles thinking that I was just gonna love it. I think I made like 12 of them, and I only ended up using 2 before I just was like, no, these aren't for me. So maybe this labor will be different, but last time I did not like it, so may not use these. We've got a bag of 50 gloves. We also have an easy scrub, so this is just a surgical scrub brush. And then next we have a fish net. This is not to catch fish. This is to catch poop during labor. If you are planning a water birth, it is recommended that you have one of these on hand. If you poop during labor, it's totally normal, so don't feel embarrassed. Just get you one of these just in case. We also have another one of the paper measuring tapes because she wanted 2. I already had one, so I only had to order one more. And then I have 17 of these little pads that we can put on the bed. These are still in their package, but I also have several that are out of the package. And these are thicker. My midwife wanted more of these. However, these are more thin, and I already had a lot of extras of these, so I figured more absorbency is great. So instead of ordering more of the thinner ones, I just went ahead and decided that I was just going to use these instead. So I've got 17 of the thick ones, and then I have 12 of these smaller ones. They're the same size, but it's just the thickness of them is a little bit different. So that's all of the medical supplies that my midwife wanted me to order for my birth kit. Now we're gonna go ahead and jump into the next basket. So this next box of goodies has a couple things in here that I wanna talk about. So for the birth, I always plan to have a shower curtain underneath the bed, just in case I do end up giving birth on the bed. Like I said, the plan is to have a water birth, but you really never know where you're gonna end up giving birth. For home births, the recommendation is to put a pair of clean sheets on the bed, then lay down a shower curtain, then put a pair of sheets on that are not your favorite. That way, if they get ruined, it's not a big deal. So I've got my shower curtain here. These sheets are very soft, but my husband just does not like them. So these are always our birth sheets that I have in my bag ready to go. So I've got the pillowcases, the base sheet, and then the cover sheet all tucked away in here for easy access. And then I prefer to use natural cleaners versus like, you know, Clorox, disinfectant, all those types of things. So this is it's called Immunity Boost from Revive. It's very similar to the Thieves Cleaner. It smells exactly the same, but Revive is not an MLM, so it's a lot cheaper. So I really love this stuff. You just put a capful in your glass jar and then fill the rest of it up with water. So I'm gonna have this in this basket. That way the midwives can clean with this and I won't get a headache from smelling any harsh chemicals. The next thing on the list to order for the birth kit was some plastic bags and some trash bags. And I actually ordered this from In His Hands. So this was on the list of things to get. I also bought tissues. That was also on the list of things to get. So I've got a lovely box of tissues. And of course I had to pick the pretty one with the neutral flowers. Not that it matters, but it does. And then last thing in this one is a roll of paper towels. In this household, I really don't like to use paper towels. We mainly use like cloth napkins and stuff, but in this scenario, I think having some paper towels on hand is going to be very, very helpful. So that's everything in this basket. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the last one. Okay, like I was saying earlier, this basket is more so postpartum related things that I know that I will like to have pretty immediate after birth. So this spray bottle is a lifesaver. I've seen where a lot of people prefer the ones that have like a spout that goes up. I didn't find that I needed that last time. This one worked perfectly well, and it came with the birth kit the first time around, and so I didn't have to order another one because I already had one on hand. The next thing is a herbal bath. So on my midwife's notes of things to collect, she wrote stock pot or a crock pot. That way she can get an herbal bath going. So I believe she's going to be bringing her own herbal bath. So I'll probably use the one that she brings like after birth. But this is also one that I used last time and I really enjoyed it. So I'll just keep the crock pot in the bathroom and put these in whenever I need it. If you don't take anything away from this video, I hope that you take away the fact that after ease is your best friend. A lot of people will get these after birth cramps with breastfeeding or after birth contractions when your uterus is shrinking back down to the size it was pre-baby. And for some people, not super painful, not super intense, hardly notice it. For me, the first birth that I had, they were already like pretty intense. I went through 2 of these. So they say that they get more intense after every birth. So I'm sure this second birth, it's going to be a little bit more intense. So I went ahead and got a full bottle just to have on hand because I'm sure I'm gonna need it. So go ahead and get this preventatively, because if I didn't have this with my first baby, wouldn't have been fun. Whenever you're trying to figure out how to breastfeed, it's already like kind of stressful sometimes, especially if baby's got a tongue tie or if they're just struggling a little bit at the breast. And so if you're going through that pain on your breast from trying to navigate breastfeeding for the first time, the last thing you want is to be having contractions that are borderline painful while you're trying to have this bonding time with your little baby. So with this stuff, you put 8 pumps in a little bit of water, just drink it down, and it truly does help so much. So highly recommend this, whether you're a first-time mom or 8th-time mom. I think that this was really, really helpful. Okay, so a lot of people don't like wearing diapers after they give birth just because I don't really know. Honestly, I loved wearing the diaper because it was more comfortable than a pad. So especially just for those first few days postpartum where, you know, you're bleeding a little bit heavier. So I really, really loved having diapers. So I bought some Depends, and these are actually kind of cute because they're pink and they've got a little like, it looks like they're embroidered on the front. So gonna be feeling fancy in my adult diapers. And then for a little bit later postpartum, like, you know, after a few days, once the bleeding kind of gets a little bit less, I got some maxi pads just to put into some underwear and wear those for a while. Last time I didn't bleed for very long, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna bleed more this time or not, but these will be perfect for that postpartum period where you're not quite bleeding enough to need the diaper. Along with the pads, I like to have a package of new underwear. I prefer the high-waisted underwear postpartum just because it offers a little bit of support to your uterus. And so I always get some fresh undies where they are high-waisted, kind of hold you in a little bit more. Those make wearing these obnoxiously long pads a little bit more comfortable. Along with undergarments, I also grabbed some nursing bras. I will probably wear one of these during labor just because it's got easy breastfeeding access. The material is so soft and they're pretty cute. So I've got these in the basket as well. Lastly, we're going to talk a little bit about breastfeeding. So my daughter had a tongue tie and a cheek buckle, and so nursing was pretty painful. I got, scabs and bleeding happened really quickly. Thank the Lord my midwife was able to look at my breasts and tell me like, hey, this is not normal. So she got me in to see a craniosacral therapist, and that helped so much. But she told me in the meantime to start using a nipple shield. So just in case this baby is tongue-tied as well, I'm gonna go ahead and have the nipple shield on hand, as well as some nipple cream. And then I also have this stuff from Rocasa. It's called Mama's Milk Salve, and this stuff is so nice. It smells amazing. It smells so good, and I would just rub this on my chest. I would not put it on my nipples, but just, on the areas around my nipples. And I really feel like this helped with my milk production, especially like in the first few weeks of breastfeeding whenever I'm trying to get established and regulated. So this stuff was super helpful. And they also have a nipple cream that I'm going to be using, but my package hasn't come in the mail yet. So once that gets here, I'm going to put it in this basket so that I've got everything I need. One of the other things I forgot to mention that my midwife requested is that I have baby wipes. So I'm just gonna get a package of baby wipes and add it to this basket. So welcome to my bathroom. This is the tub that I'm planning on laboring in, as well as possibly giving birth in. It's basically a 2-person tub, but it's pretty narrow. Although it's long, it's pretty narrow, so I'm not quite sure what position I'm gonna wanna be in during birth. So depending on that, this may not be the best option. The bed might work out a little bit better. So this is just an idea, it's not set in stone, but I'm gonna definitely make sure that this tub is really clean and ready to go at 37 weeks, and then I'll just keep touching it up as the days go by. So I want to talk a little bit about a few tools that I'm going to be keeping in this area, just to kind of manage the contractions. So the first tool is a comb. There are so many people that just say combs are amazing to have during labor. I think it's something about the way that our brains process pain. So if you're squeezing the comb, apparently your brain is supposed to recognize this discomfort before it recognizes the discomfort of contractions. So I haven't tried the comb before, but I've got one and I'm curious to see how well it works. And I'm going to be keeping this by the bathtub, that way I'm not trying to dig through those baskets to try to find a little tiny comb. So it'll just be sitting right here in that little basket, ready for when I need to use it. The next thing that is going to be very handy is this Rocasa magnesium cream. This stuff is a lifesaver. If you are pregnant right now and you are dealing with back cramps or just aches and pains from pregnancy, go ahead and order some of this stuff, because I'm telling you, it's like a little miracle worker. It is so amazing. I have my husband rub this on my back like almost every night. I've been struggling with some back cramps on my right side, and so I will just rub some on here and the cramps will go away. So this stuff is really incredible. Along with magnesium cream, I'm also going to have some Epsom salt. So just to kind of get in the warm bath, if I'm feeling a lot of discomfort, I can put some Epsom salt in there and just soak for a little bit and hopefully relax some of those muscles that are just so tense. So the last few things I want to share with y'all are the essential oils that I'm going to have on hand during labor. So here's my little basket of essential oils. I'm just going to keep this basket right beside our diffuser. That way everything is in a central location so anyone can access it and go ahead and put a few drops in. The first one is called Gentle Baby from Young Living. This one smells really good, so I may diffuse this once baby's here, or if I just want something that smells good in the room while I'm in labor. The next essential oil that I have is Valor. This is also from Young Living, and this one is supposed to just give you some courage, make you feel strong. And so I'm sure there will be a point in labor where I want to have this or have somebody put some of it on my back or something, just to kind of give me that strength that I need. And also it smells good. Another one that's great to have during labor is peppermint. Peppermint is supposed to help calm your nausea. So last labor, my midwife had put a few drops into the trash can. That was a little bit overpowering. So this time, if I want to use it, I'll probably have somebody put it on a paper towel first and then sit it in the trash can. That way, if it's too overpowering, we can just take it away and hopefully the smell will go away with it instead of being in the trash can. These next two are from Revive, and like I said, I really enjoy Revive because it's not an MLM, and so everything is just a little bit more affordable. So this first one that I have is lavender. This is great to just ease anxiety during labor, especially like in the early stage and then that transition time, it can be a little bit anxious. So I think having this on hand will be great. I can diffuse it or I can put it on topically. And then lastly, we've got a essential oil for sleep. So I was kind of thinking in early labor, if I'm feeling tired but just not quite able to rest, this would be a great one to have diffusing just to kind of help me get into that sleepy state. Because in early labor, that's the best time to get all of the rest possible because there is a lot of work ahead. So these essential oils are just gonna live right there. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that if you are getting ready for your very own home birth, that this video was helpful. I would love for you to leave a comment below telling me when you're due, if it's your first home birth, or if it's your fifth. I would love to hear y'all's stories and just connect in that way. I just pray that everybody's birth goes exactly how they want, exactly how they envision, and that you just know how strong you are, even if you don't feel like it in the moment. So thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe if you're interested in this kind of content, and just stay tuned because I've got some more birth related content up my sleeve, as well as homesteading and homemaking. So I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.